Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine Torvell and you are watching the No B-Roll Life while getting out of debt. So nothing fancy here other than getting out of debt. So I wanted to talk to you today about the good, the bad, the ugly side of van life. I've found that these are the top things that I would say are the good, the bad, the ugly. So here we go. So number one, the good. Let's talk about the good. So from May 2018 all the way up till, today is the 15th of January 2021. So these are the dates that I've paid off this debt, and this is what we started with, and this is what we currently have. So I started with £34,942. There was some odd pence, but to be honest, I don't remember. Down to $11,020. Yes! I am, like when, I might get emotional here. It's been a long journey. It really has. And you think only now, after today, 11 more months, and I'm going to be debt-free. And I'm so happy, and I'm so proud, and I'm proud of myself. I've stuck to something. Really, really am proud of my debt-free journey, and I'm really happy to be sharing it all with you. Please look at me and know that it is possible. Know that it is possible, and that's such a happy tale. So when I say that this is good, what I actually mean is it is great. Really, really great. Okay, so after going from that, I don't know how I'm going to go to the bad. So the bad was waking up in the winter when it was really cold. It was okay. March, April, May, June, July, all of those months when it, you need a little bit of heat on in the van because it is a tin box, but for all intents and purposes, and it can get cold still. But in the winter, so let's just say from late October, November, December, January, February, those are the months that you really need heat, and you need good heat. I can honestly say the heater that I had was a 2.2 kilowatt heater, and I was using propane, and it wasn't warm in the winter months when it was freezing outside, and everything was covered in condensation. So anything that you leave, any smooth surface, like my cooktop my sink had condensation, the windows all had condensation on it, so everything was wet. So if you had anything hang up by the window, you had to be careful because half of your shirt would probably be wet in the morning. Not fun. So eventually I did try to change over to LPG, and with the pipe work and my cooker, between my cooker and my Propix heater, it just didn't like it. Don't know what. We tried multiple different avenues. My O and I spent hours trying to fix it. If it was just on the LPG and directly linked up to the LPG, worked like a charm. If it had to compete with any other pipework in the middle, it then started to air out, and that just wasn't good enough. And so for a little while I used my cooker for heating. Not great. Dangerous, but I was trying to be very careful, but and hindsight being 2020, I can see how it looks, and probably wasn't the best. So, okay, so we're going to talk about the ugly now, people. The ugly of my van life happened on the 30th of January 2020, and it is not very nice. So on that date, I got woken up at 4 a.m. to somebody trying to break into my van. Yeah, so he was at the back doors, And if you know, and when I do my van tour, you'll really be able to see why this is, he wasn't getting in there. It is Fort Knox. I have, you know, I have not only the van lock, I have a deadbolt lock across the van, so it is literally, you know, it is this long. It is really long. I have one drilled into the floor, and the lock drops through. So I have that. I also have a chain lock as well. And this man had his foot, I could tell he had his foot on the bumper, one foot probably on the ground, and he was leaning against the van, and he was trying to use probably a screwdriver or a crowbar, and he was trying to pop it open. And I was in the back, the bed is right there, and I should have just pounded on the door and screamed to get away from my van, but I was literally paralyzed with fear. Absolutely paralyzed with fear. So once he couldn't get in, because it is Fort Knox, like we said, I thought, okay, I thought I heard him walk away. I thought I heard him walk in the other direction. As it turns out, that wasn't the case. He walked to the driver's door, which was actually where the car was parked. He would be pretty much in that lay-by right next to the street. So, yeah, not sure why he tried that. He chose that door, but he did. It was just like that. He was in. And I think it took him longer to try to push back the curtains and lift up the curtains to shine his light back to be able to climb over. And at this point, he shined his light back. I'm there with my mouth open, ready to scream. Still couldn't scream. Finally, when his head, you know, his body is like lifting up to come over, you know, to put, you know, to crawl over the back of the seats. That's when I finally found my lungs of, get out of my van, you. Some not so nice explicits. And he was like, oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Did the thief just apologize? Did the would-be thief just apologize to me? He did. And then he got out of the van and closed the door. And then I'm sat in my bed, still shaking. My heart is going a mile a minute. And I get out of bed, and, you know, I go and I lock the door, and then I'm putting every lock that is in the van. And you probably will ask, why didn't I have all of the locks on? Now, always have all the locks on except for one door fully, because if there was an emergency and I did need to get out of the van, I don't need to be messing around with this little tiny key, trying to, you know, on a wire lock, trying to get thing, and that's the reason. However, we do now have some amazing new locks that we went and got that weekend. We installed them the same weekend, and I was then able to sleep like a baby. So, even though the ugly was pretty ugly, I'm still able to sleep in my van comfortably and just be happy in the van. So I'll show you a picture of the stuff I got, and also I'll include an affiliate link at some point in the description of that product. And if you need good van safety or good locks, then by all means feel free, because they are fantastic. And when I get the van back, I'll do another tour. During that tour, I will be happy to kind of demonstrate a little bit more about those for you. So anyway, thanks so much for watching The Good, The Bad, The Ugly of van life. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope that if you did like it, that you will like, subscribe, comment below, let me know a question that you might have. In the community spirit, I'd ask you to please comment below with those questions. So again, thanks so much for watching, guys. I shall see you on the next one. I shall see you next Sunday.